Poetry is the sound of language organized in lines. More than meter, more than rhyme, more than images or alliteration or figurative language, line is what distinguishes our experience of poetry as poetry, rather than some other kind of writing. Great prose might be filled with metaphors. The rhythmic vitality of prose might be so intense that it rises to moments of regularity we can scan. Its diction may be more sensuous, more evocative than that of many poems. We wouldn't be attracted to the notion of prose poetry if it didn't feel exciting to abandon the decorum of lines. But while line is central to our experience of poetry, it is notoriously difficult to talk about, much more difficult than meter, rhyme, or syntax, even though our experience of all of these poetic elements is bound up with our experience of line. What's more, line has no identity, except in relation to other elements in the poem, especially the syntax of the poem's sentences. It is not an abstract concept, and its qualities cannot be described generally or schematically. It cannot be associated reliably with the way we speak or breathe, nor can its function be understood merely from its visual appearance on the page. The line's function is sonic, a way of organizing the sound of language, and only by listening to the effect of a particular line in the context of a particular poem can we come to understand how line works. This book does not presume any long-standing familiarity with the practice of lineation. It examines metered lines, rhymed lines, syllabic lines, and a variety of free verse lines. Along the way, it employs only a handful of familiar terms, while introducing a smaller handful of new ones. Most prominently, it rejects the term line break as an inaccurate metaphor, preferring the term line ending. At the point where the line ends, syntax may or may not be broken, continuing in the next line. This is another way of saying that line cannot be understood by describing the line alone. The music of a poem, no matter if metered, syllabic, or free, depends on what the syntax is doing when the line ends. The book's first chapter emphasizes this point. Surveying a variety of different kinds of lines, it shows how the power of lineation arises from the relationship between the lines and the syntax of a particular poem. The second chapter examines the different ways in which lines may end, demonstrating that the power especially of free verse lineation depends on the interaction of different kinds of line endings within the same poem. The third chapter discusses the relationship of lineated poems to prose, not only examining different kinds of prose poetry, but suggesting that the very power of line asks us to wonder how it would feel to do without line.